I do score fairly, but I always forget. So I get to put it in the hole and I have to be like, okay, 1, 2, 3. It's like, you got a 7. I'm like, hold on a sec. Yeah, I did. So what happened was we were in the car and we were like, oh, what group should we go in? And they were like, well, the bottom 3 go together and then the rest, and then they were like, oh, I was like, oh, who's the bottom 3? And they go, oh, Josh, Simon and Randy. And I was like, hold on. Like, I don't mind what group I'm in.
No, that was the second day. The first day we said we're just going to go, whoever's got their bags is going to go first.
Before that, we mentioned that tomorrow is going to be the bottom 3, So I was like, hold on, I don't care who I'm with, but can we not label me as like the bottom 3, I was like, who am I worse than? And they were like, no, who am I better than? I was like, well, definitely Ethan and Lux. And he was like, no way. So I was like, okay, let's make a bet.
And me, just to clear up. I was in that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, that you were better or worse?
No, that I was worse than him.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and now we've learned that was absolute fucking huge waffle.
It's not. He had the worst game of his life.
We'll get there.
All right,
so
I'll
bet you a grand that I'll beat you tomorrow. Because in the day where we played 2, first one was like, we'll count the score. Last one was like, would you scramble, which is like a game where it's not really about, you play in pairs. So I was like, I'll bet you a grand. He was like, oh, let's do 10. I was like, I can't afford that. So no.
I'm so glad it fuck me.
I know. So then I was like, okay, cool. So then we then played the 9 holes after that conversation.
Yeah.
And then came back, and then Harry and Freezy were to him like, oh, you're fucked. Because I played Unreal. That day I played Unreal. I beat Freezy and Harry that day.
And he hooned.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely hooned.
Yeah. But I hooned in that evening.
In the evening,
yeah. So it was all
you
shit
won
talk,
apparently,
all
right?
trash talk.
Yeah,
I beat them 2.
And how did you beat them? What game were you playing?
We were just playing golf.
Brother, I know that. I mean, like, was
match play.
Yeah.
So each hole,
you had a handicap.
Yeah. Well, I had one shot on Freezy.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't need it most of the times. I just beat him on.
Fucking hell, man.
But then the next day, so I was really confident, but now I was nervous. Also, you are a freak in terms of like what you can achieve. You know this as well. We'll talk about it later. You'll look as well in gambling. You think the impossible and you just somehow do it.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, actually.
I feel like I used to be better than I am now.
yeah. Well, like tomorrow is going to destroy me. So I was a little bit nervous. Anyway, I had a bad round anyway. But then in the end, luckily, you also had a bad round too.
You know what? I was like playing smart in my head. And then like with my heart and every other part of my body, including my arms, I was playing like an absolute turd.
Yeah.
So for example, I love using the rescue club.
We know.
Yeah.
This was
the rescue.
Wait, can you Google?
club.
I don't know what this is. Is it a hybrid?
Yeah, I think it's
Hybrid iron.
This guy, bro, he's like a foot behind a tree. And we're like, yeah, you've got to just chip it out onto the fairway. And he's like, no, I'm going to rescue it.
I'm going to rescue it through 15 trees.
Fade it around those 6 trees.
That one on the left, yeah.
Yeah, I need to bounce these.
Yeah, that. I
love
love that
I need
club,
to beat
man.
Randy. And then he just scuffs it through his
You can
eyes.
basically drive the golf ball. I don't know if this is correct, by the way. I'm brand new to golf. But you can basically drive the golf ball from anywhere on the, you can be in the rough and do it.
Yeah,
mate.
you can.
But yeah, I was using this, and then there was like one time where I was like, I went over to the chip stuff, like the chips, and the lie looked good, and I smacked the ball and it hit tree, really impressive, right? Yeah. Under Ethan's buggy, hits his buggy under it.
Okay.
So he's like, "You've hit my buggy." I was like, "Mate, I don't think it particularly matters, brother. Just fuck off."
Yeah.
But I just used that rescue, and so it's just like, no, I could have just chipped out. And by the way, then I put it in a bush.
Yeah.
But luckily it went through. Then I didn't go back to the golf buggy and get another club. I used the rescue, get the bush out the way, hack it, and then it goes back on. So I lost 3 shots there.
Yeah. I mean, I lost a lot of unlucky shots too. But also, the golf course was tricky. Like that rough stuff around the green was mental.
Yeah,
it was like plastic.
Sponge.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Spongy plastic.
So you have to hit it really hard out of there. And I'm not very good at hitting like my wedge shots hard because they'll just toe it and I'll go miles. Mm-hmm. So I hit them really soft. So sometimes I'll hit a shot and just do this, like go 3 yards.
Me.
Yeah. But Simon made a good point of putting me and Lux on different teams. So we're playing 2 4-balls. And then we were separated. So we were ahead of you guys. So sometimes we could see each other's shots. Like I could see your shots onto the green on a par 3. You could see my drive.
There's one of the best videos of Randy taking a drive. And you just pan it. And Cal's just stood there watching.
No, it's even better than that. Is this?
Yeah. And there was mind games going on. But bro, I was having a bad round, right? And every time that we watched your par 3 shot, you just took so long, practice shots, like really smacked it, landed on the green, backspin, pitch mark and just stopped.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, right, I'm
You
getting
must have
destroyed.
thought you were getting hammered.
I thought I was getting
throughout the
destroyed,
entire
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And did that affect your mindset?
Probably. 'Cause
Do you
I
reckon
kept
it
playing
did?
bad and I was like, fuck, man, I need to step it up.
Because
And
we noticed the first one that you watched where it like dinged like 20 foot from the flag on a par 3. Even we were like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then we noticed it was just mind games the entire time. It was actually really fun though.
No,
It was
it was
fun.
good. It was good. Yeah, it was.
I want to do those little battles more often, but I'm not fucking playing you. This guy
This guy
right here.
Just to clear up, right?
Whoa, I think I'm speaking. This guy
Chill
right
out,
here.
Pipsqueak. Chill
Whoa. You can pipsqueak me all you want, but you're never getting a low handicap ever.
Listen,
the
right?
respect's gone.
So
you're not a bad
what,
golf
did I play
player.
really well, right? Did I play really well?
I think you played to your ability.
I played, yeah. How
Which-
badly did you play?
I thought I played bad.
Very bad.
Yeah.
You've just talked about how you two are scuffing it around trees.
Yeah.
I beat you by 1 shot.
Yeah, but that's.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how well
How
I
many
played.
18s you played?
Huh?
How many 18s you played?
It's just 4, by the way, guys. 4.
Four?
Yeah.
That was your
well,
fourth.
hang on, 5
That
now.
was your 5th.
5.
Well,
So you
I'm
played
6
4
now.
and
No, it
5
was
on the
9
same
first
day.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many lessons you had?
What's
None.
that? What's the lesson? No, but my point
waffle.
was everyone was
It's
going.
waffle.
No, but then as well, so we played scramble in the afternoon, and it was you, Ethan, and Josh, and you, Freezy, and then me and Harry.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Freezy's the best player, so even if you have a
Yeah.
stinker, his score will still beat us.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then you guys have 3, and you're all good. You're just
Bro, if I'd have played like that against you,
Yeah.
I'd have wiped your ass.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
having
You would've-
3 players as well is just so.
Yeah, 3 in a scramble
Like-
was quite.
Yeah.
And you got a handicap of like you had 19 shots on them or something.
We
stupid.
shot a net 64.
That's pretty mad. You see Donald Trump tweeted.
8 under. 8
Yeah, that's
under
sick, that's sick.
in 18 holes.
But yeah, so then Freezy goes, "Oh, let's put a bet on it," and I went, "Well, they're
Oh, yeah, you owe
your
me money."
team." No, Ethan owes you money because he owes me money.
He owed him. I
doing
I
this
paid you for
shit.
beating me.
Did you?
I sent it on PayPal, but I
Oh.
know you won't even check that. But I just let being that guy.
Yeah, Ethan owes me for the longest drive, so he owes you. But yeah, I was like, Freezy's got the best. Like he's the best.
Yeah.
And then your team has 3 players that are all good.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of this bet because me and Harry have lost.
Yeah, I saw you try to remove yourself from that bet, and we sucked you straight back in
I did not agree to
because
it.
it was a £300.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
free.
Everyone knew it.
That was free money.
And then I go on the tee, and Harry is good, but I go on the first tee, and the first 4 holes he lost 4 balls.
He loses his head quite a lot on golf, but he
Yeah.
loses it calmly. Ethan would maybe lose it more
Oh my
like
God.
physically.
Well, he was.
Ethan
we
lost
looked at Ethan
his
on most holes, and he's
mind.
throwing clubs, and
He snapped the driver.
He did.
He snapped the driver.
not out of rage.
It wasn't out of rage, but he also said that he hadn't hit that club once on the ground or done anything with it. I just don't know if that's true. I can't remember. I can't remember. But he smashed every
he
other
doesn't
club.
remember the first like 6 holes.
Oh yeah, true.
He was pissed.
He was
Yeah.
hammered.
But-
So he
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
smashed the driver.
He was hammered.
We all said at lunch, let's just drink, and then I think he just drank more than others.
Yeah. You know the one that ruined me though was so we had a rule where if you 3-putt, you have to down drink. And you guys finished a hole and we were like going like, oh, 3-putt. You didn't. And Ethan was like, yeah, we haven't 3-putted yet. Me and Harry hit 2 of the best shots of the day. Like on the hole, on the green in 2, easy. Longest putts of our lives.
Yeah.
We 3-putt that hole. And
That's
they
why-
make us down it. And I'm literally there just like dying for the rest of the day. Just
What did you have
burping.
to down?
There's a little
A beer.
beer.
Oh,
But it was just
Wow.
so like gassy, and we've already had like 10 ciders each, and
Yeah.
it was
That's
grim.
why in that scramble, getting on the green early is actually a bit of a bad thing. You want to be on the fringe, so you don't have to 3-putt it.
yeah,
But I don't know if you guys were following. Did you have that rule in mind?
Yeah, we
Okay,
did.
bless,
But
bless.
when you guys called us out, I think it was actually like our first putt. And then so in my head, I was like, do they mean 3 putt as in if all 3 of us missed our first
okay.
putt?
no.
Yeah, I can't be right. Yeah, that way.
Because that didn't happen. That didn't happen once. And I think like every single putt that we had, one of us sank it, which was insane. We just played out of our fucking minds.
Yeah, you did
We
play
played
well.
out of man.
Yeah.
yeah. Me and Harry just.
But
gave
maybe
up.
you had your best round ever because you had Coach Cal with you.
it is true because
Yeah.
when I played with Harry, it was very much just like he hits the like I'll hit the ball and it'll go out of bounds, or I'll scuff it along the floor, and I'm thinking, right, Harry, just you go safe now, and then he just swings like a an angry
maniac.
baboon and hits it out of bounds as well. And we're like, well, let's just drop the ball.
Yeah. To be fair, most times out of 10, if Freezy missed the fairway, I would get it, or if I missed it, he would get it. One of us would actually.
We played scramble the worst you could play.
Yeah.
I would do a good shot, and then he would do a good shot.
To be fair though, 3 is an absolute cheat code because I definitely, our team definitely like scuffed 2 and then someone saved it like 7 times.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
sure.
we'd have been like a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also,
But every hole we were like, oh, I was like, what was that? Ethan's like, that was par. And then the next one's like, oh, that's net birdie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
net
trust
par.
Ethan's scores though. I don't trust him.
Why?
Because when we played the first round in the morning, he was like, oh, I went, what'd you get? And he went, oh, I got 7. I went, did you?
It was only once.
It wasn't. You only heard one. It was about 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
You know who's really good at that? Freezy is really good at like making sure your score is accountable. Because I'm like, I do score fairly, but I always forget. So I get to put it in the hole and I have to be like, okay, 1, 2, 3. He's like, you got a 7. I'm like, hold on a sec. Yeah, I did. I'm like, wow. I think he counts shots onto the green and just then 3 put. So 1, 2, 3 which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I actually go
splits
like,
it up.
yeah, it makes it easier.
Whereas I'm like, wait, was that last hole or the hole before?
Yeah.
But that trip was just like, just the last day and a half was just so good.
Mate,
that was like the new troops thing. I want that.
But you
I
know
want
what
that
it was?
again.
Mate, the thing is, well, we were actually all destroyed because the first 2 videos we did on the first 2 days, we were out in the sun all day
Drinking.
Yeah, from one thing, like from waking up to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, drinking, not drinking much water at all, just like sunburn.
The sun was nuts as well.
Yeah. And so I think that the last day we were like, hanging on because I got home and I just died. I just passed out, and then the next day I just was finished.
I did on the plane.